Welcome to The Explainer. So, you've launched an academic journal, which is amazing. But is anyone actually seeing the research? Today, we're going to break down exactly how to get your journal indexed on Google Scholar so your work can make a real-world impact.
Let's start with a scenario that is just so frustrating. You've published groundbreaking work. You know it's important, but it's just not showing up in Google Scholar searches. For most of the academic world, that means it's basically invisible. We are here to fix that.
So, what even is indexing? Well, think of it as the process that lets Google's system find, understand, and then display your articles in its search results. It's the essential bridge connecting your work to millions of researchers around the globe. And without that bridge, your journal is pretty much stuck on its own little island. Okay, so where do we even start? It all begins with a solid foundation. Imagine you're building a house. You need a professional, credible structure before anyone's going to trust what's inside, right? Well, search engines, they kind of think the same way. Take a look at this list. These are not just nice-to-haves. They are 100% mandatory. Every single one of these pages, from your About section to your ethics policy, is a huge signal of credibility. It tells both Google and your human readers that you are a serious, professional academic publication. Hey, want a pro tip to make this whole thing way easier? Use a platform that's built for this stuff, like Open Journals Systems, or OJS. It's literally designed for academic publishing, so it handles a lot of the technical heavy lifting for you. It really gives you a massive head start. All right, with that solid foundation in place, let's start talking about the articles themselves. See, you need to structure each one so Google's crawlers can read it perfectly. In a way, you're literally teaching Google the language of your research. So here's the anatomy of an article that a machine can actually read. Every paper needs a clear title, author, and affiliation. That's a given. Plus, a good abstract and keywords. But this last point is absolutely crucial. The text inside your PDF has to be selectable, where you can highlight it with your mouse. It can't be just a flat image, otherwise the crawlers can't read a single word. This slide just illustrates the point perfectly. We're talking about the power of metadata. Think of it like an address label on a package. On the left, you've got poor metadata. It's like a package with no address. It's just going to get lost. On the right, you've got clean, perfect metadata that tells Google everything it needs to know. But here's why this is so important. It's not just about being found. Good metadata is what lets Google Scholar track citations, build author profiles, and connect your work to the entire academic conversation. Okay, we built our house, we've labeled everything inside. Now it's time for the technical green light. We need to make sure the doors are unlocked and the path is totally clear for Google's crawlers to come on in. These 3 points might seem simple, but they are completely non-negotiable. Your site can't be hidden behind a password. Your articles have to be accessible without needing login. And your robots.txt file, which is basically a set of instructions for search engines, cannot be telling Google's bots to stay away. One mistake here, and the whole process just grinds to a halt. And now, for a bit of an insider's guide. We've seen the common mistakes that cause most journals to get rejected, so let's look at the critical red flags to avoid so your journal is seen as legitimate and trustworthy from the get-go. First up, authenticity. Look, it can be tempting to maybe pad your editorial board to make it look more impressive. Don't do it. Google Scholar values real, genuine academic integrity above all else. A fake or unverified board is a huge red flag and, honestly, a surefire way to get rejected. This next one should be obvious, but you'd be surprised. Publishing plagiarized work is an instant disqualifier, no questions asked. Academic publishing is all about creating original knowledge. Plagiarism won't just get you rejected, it will permanently damage your journal's reputation. And finally, we come full circle, right back to where we started. All those foundational things we talked about, the ethics policies, the peer review process, they really, really matter. Missing these, or just having sloppy, poorly formatted PDFs, shows a lack of professionalism that will get you rejected. So, you've done everything right. Your foundation is solid. Your articles are structured perfectly. The technical path is clear. You've hit submit. Now for what is, honestly, the hardest part, waiting. Typically, you're looking at about 2 to 6 weeks for a journal to be reviewed and hopefully indexed. But please, don't panic if it takes longer. Sometimes it can be 2, even 3 months or more. The key here is to just be patient, knowing you've done all the right things. As we wrap up, I really want you to remember this. Getting indexed
It's not just about checking off a bunch of boxes for a search engine. It's about building a high quality, credible, and accessible journal. It's really a commitment to the best practices in academic publishing.
And this brings us to one final powerful question. If you follow all these guidelines, you'll notice something interesting. What's great for Google Scholar is also great for people. So ask yourself this: are you building your journal for your readers or just for robots? Focus on the readers, and trust me, the robots will follow.